Hi, this is Keshav of CSC Data Science. Today our topic was unstructured data to actionable intelligence. Let us start with a basic introduction of the topic. Businesses create huge amounts of the potentially valuable content in the form of documents such as email messages, drafts, product plans and reports, operational memos and customer reports, invention proposals, and research notes. However, the organizations typically use such documents once and then lose them. Despite having the same savings, they could realize by refusing them. Internal documents might constitute companies' most effectively utilized asset today. The problem afflicts individual knowledge workers as well as entire organizations. The individual typically suffers from what we call information overload. One poor soul awash in the rising tides of the content and data. Statistics indicate that workers waste many hours searching for sorting and assessing information, incurring a significant organizational productivity cost. For example, International Data Corp (IDC) estimates that an enterprise with 1,000 knowledge workers loses a minimum of $6 million a year in the time workers spend searching for and not finding needed information. But this an even larger concern and long-term institutional problem. Workers usually don't waste the time fighting systems or tasks that don't pay off. People always move on when they can't find useful information quickly. Solving this problem requires an approach to organizing and cataloging content that is more active than current methods. In particular, using content effectively requires knowing more about the content, having access to information codified as document and collection metadata. Current systems often automatically capture various process-based metadata, for example, file system attributes such as author, title, size, creation date, and so on. Much more, much more useful and much rarer is metadata about documents actual content, for example, content summaries, topics covered, and people or companies mentioned. The unstructured note sidebar explores this further topic. Automatic categorization. Portals and content management systems often claim to provide metadata, but they in fact rely on humans to provide any metadata beyond the they automatically captured as they store or route documents. Although this approach can work well in structured workflows, it is un- untenable in loosely structured knowledge work, especially as organizations focus on the knowledge workers' productivity. A categorization system can generate collection catalogs or directories automatically. A categorization system creates and maintains a hierarchical structure of categories called as a taxonomy and assigns documents to the categories. A typical application is to use the taxonomy as navigable directory for the high value collection of the private content. That is, you can create something like Yahoo for your own content. A taxonomy effectiveness A taxonomy's effectiveness and design depend on many factors. It's easy to get lost in the thicket of theoretical concerns. But remember that a taxonomy's ultimate evaluation occurs at a point of use. Thus, who users are, that they will be doing, and what they know and understand are much more important than abstract properties of the knowledge. General collections and tasks are unlikely to be the highest value applications for the enterprise categorization in the near term. After all, a privileged understanding in the focused area of the knowledge or practice is what creates a competitive advantage. So, a general purpose taxonomy would be probably be less useful than appropriately specialized or even private taxonomies. Focused taxonomies are likely to make the fingerprint discriminations within the topics in the more specialized collections and are also likely to better match the language and the purposes of the specialized users and users. For example, the medical subject handling MESH taxonomy, which has evolved and been used over many years in medical research, is more suited than the general taxonomy for organizing Pfizer reports for its thousands of drug researchers. Beyond defining and managing a taxonomy, a categorization system must accurately design documents to one or more categories. End user browsing. As the analogy with Yahoo suggests, a hierarchical directory allows browsing while gaining some of the precision and control of searching. Effectively turns a search command line interface into a hierarchical menu of topics. Browsing the taxonomy imparts of an overall sense of what's available and how it's organized, and then allows drilling down to specific topics of interest. Document routing. Whereas the purpose of the end user browsing and is let the users access a pool of past content, this application's purpose is to process the stream of the new content and trigger appropriate actions or responses within the enterprise. The system can notify a user automatically and assigns document to categories that relate to the user's work, and it can route documents to appropriate employee for processing. Enhanced search is and browse. A system can blend a search function with the taxonomy in several ways that enhance searching or enable a tighter interplay between the searching and browsing. Showing search results organized by the categories of the matching documents helps user more quickly digest the results. Search results can also become a point of departure for the browsing, and because a document's category will probably contain other relevant documents that might not have matched the query. A related technique that has proven popular with the internet directories is to search for categories and then to navigate up and down from the matching categories. The out of box and search and browse sidebar discusses the strengths and weaknesses of the search and browse. Applications for unstructured data management. Organizations can apply categorization and extraction and visualization techniques in several ways to increase the efficiency of the content use. A typical deployment involves a number of infrastructure elements as figure to shows that both IT administrators and content organizers in the full process of determining metadata and content using the metadata in user-facing applications. The most common applications help users to find and understand the documents as the need arises in the broader activities. In such cases, a user becomes explicitly aware of his or her information need and then searches for the browser's content sources to fulfill that need. Applying categorization, extraction, or visualization can lead to a faster, better user information access. Other general types of applications, routing and mining, leverage the content-based metadata in the broader organizational processes. Routing and applications of the metadata to increase the degree of automation or intelligence in the process of moving content through the organization and its surrounding network. Mining applications enable the statistical analysis and the content collections or flows to discover the patterns or the drive organizational detection. All three types of applications are becoming common in the industry and the market sectors. For the illustration of the range of potential applications have the organizational benefits, let's look at what technologies I have described can offer these three specific sectors: publishing, government, and intelligence, life sciences research and development. Publishing. Furthermore, content metadata supports the publishing industry inherent to the routing style process and the generic broad rate of the content-based products and services. Timely, well-targeted content that have extremely high value for the particular audiences and so represents significant revenue opportunities. Content packaging, repacking, aggregation, syndication, and the integration are all have the purpose of the more effectively researching a greater number of customers and generating higher greater value. The publishing industry is also leading a sector of for mining style opportunities. Many content customers are not interested in the content per se, but in what it reveals about the instance and the market trends on the broader realities. Intelligence and law enforcement. Government and the security agencies can be quite effective after the public event or when they have criminal aspects. The greater challenge facing the organizations is to notice and react to the warnings and indications prior to an event. For example, to discover the criminals or the terrorist plot in the time to intervene. Toward this goal, these organizations gather huge amounts of the content from public and classified sources. In the past, security agencies required analysis to examine the documents manually to explore the substantiate theories. Increasingly, to use of the automatic extraction technologies to identify the entities and link them to the one another. Important entity types in the sector include the people, places, organization, weapon, and chemical compounds, phone numbers, license plates, vehicles, and so on. Facts or events involving in these entities might include the purchase or sale events that connect the people and the organizations or that associate particular things or the identification numbers with a particular people. Beyond lifting the burden from the personal, automatic extraction generally lets these organizations better direct their attention. Analysts can move beyond the conventional search and look for the specific facts or the types of occurrences. The library information sciences discipline are how long I appreciated about how important organization is providing to the access to the information. Without the discipline, cata- cataloging system, finding the and accessing the relevant books become but all but impossible. Similarly, your organization's content management system might be storing away the documents never to be used again. But current commercial content analysis technologies can provide metadata about the collections and documents, enabling the applications for the better access, routing, and mining of the company's precious information. Thank you.